Yeah.
Bud?
We can talk later about that. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, there you are.
Would you talk about going into the stands and seeing the Maris family?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, today when I touched and held Roger's bat that he hit his 61st, and I just put it against my heart, and that's the first thing that came to my mind when I ran over there, and I told all four of them, and it was just...
Okay, one last question. Mark's obviously in demand.
It was an unbelievable feeling.
Here. You've seen how the Maris children have remembered their father's accomplishment. How will your son remember your accomplishment today?
Well, I hope someday that my son grows up, becomes a baseball player, and breaks this.
Okay, Connor, one last one, then we got to let him go. Have you gotten the ball yet?
No, I haven't. No, whoever came on the field and gave me that ball, it wasn't the ball. So it said official league. It didn't say National League, so I said, here, take it back. So it wasn't the ball, so I haven't seen it yet.
Mark, would you hold up both bats for a photo opportunity, and then we'll let you go? What number will it say at the Hall of Fame?
Well, what number will say in the Hall of Fame is, I guess, we'll find out September 27th. Yes.
So, relieved Mark McGwire, breaking the Major League record for home runs in one season at 62, and he knows he can't stop there because Sammy Sosa sitting at 58. Mark McGwire certainly spread the wealth around with these home runs this season. 62 homers, hit off 57 different pitches. And if you want to relive that moment again, we'll bring that to you. Mark is set to go onto the field. We'll bring you those festivities as soon as he becomes available to celebrate this moment with the fans at Busch Stadium. The highlights coming up of Mark McGwire's memorable night at Busch Stadium. A beautiful night, particularly if you're a Cardinal fan. And Mark and Sammy mugging for a segment for MTV. A look at where 61 landed and somebody hoping to find out where 62 would land. Stan Musial on hand. Tony La Russa made it to this game after attending the funeral of his mother. Top of the first, it's Sammy Sosa against Kent Mercker. And McGwire looking on. Sammy with a base hit. Cubs would later score 2 runs in the inning. Bottom of the first, McGwire's first at bat, and the flash cubes clicking. The eager crowd looking on, including his son Matthew. Homered yesterday in the first inning, but not tonight. Still 2-0 Cubs on the ground out. Bottom 4, home plate umpire Steve Ripley will bring out these specially marked baseballs. It's McGwire against Traxel. Traxel gave up more home runs than any other National League pitcher last year, and he gave up a big one. Maybe the most memorable home run in regular season history. Mark McGwire celebrating, jumps by first base coach Dave McKay, and then picks up his son Matthew as he heads home in celebration. Sammy Sosa applauding. Gary Gaetti, former teammate, gives him a hug. So will Scott Service, the man who called the pitch that allowed McGwire to hit his 62nd home run. Greeted by his teammates, and Matthew gets a joyride. Another look at it after Sammy comes in to say hello. And then McGwire, as he spoke in the press conference, an emotional day because got a chance to hold Roger Maris's bat, the bat that Maris used to hit number 61. He spent considerable time with the Maris family, getting to know them, getting to know their father. And Roger Maris's widow was hospitalized once again with an irregular heartbeat today. Couldn't be on hand to watch this moment. and watch a moment in history as Mark McGwire, number 62.
And no fans will have this baseball. It just
the ball retrieved by a member of the St. Louis grounds crew. Didn't ask for anything in return. Didn't need to. A piece of history in your hand, handed over to Mark McGwire. 6-3 the final in this one. And a big game for the Cubs, of course, with the wild card implications, but they take a back seat to Mark McGwire. But then so is Mark McGwire. McGwire 1 for 2 with his 62nd. He was walked again twice on the evening, and Mark is set to head onto the field for the ceremonies on Busch Stadium as we join that now.
How do you like this dream we're all dreaming? Isn't it beautiful? What a great day for all of us. Thanks to one man, one extraordinary person, one marvelous athlete, one wonderful guy who has us all in love with him. This is a great evening for Cardinals and all of baseball. Now let's greet our Major League Baseball's new single-season home run leader, Mr. Mark McGwire. Here to make a special presentation to the new single-season home run leader and the biggest name in baseball today, Mark McGwire, is the Commissioner of Baseball, Mr. Bud Selig. Commissioner, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Jack. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be here on clearly one of the most historic nights in baseball history. Mr. Len Coleman. Next, I would like to introduce two people who all of you are familiar. This is clearly one of the proudest and most successful franchises in baseball history. What happened here tonight is a fitting tribute to all of you who have made this the crown jewel of baseball franchises. First, Hall of Famer, a man who broke many records himself, ladies and gentlemen, Lou Brock. The next man, I've been thinking all night how to introduce him. There's only one way. The man, Stan Musial. And now, with great honor, I'd like to introduce some special guests. They have conducted themselves with grace and dignity. The Maris family and their children. I would like to introduce them individually, the Maris children, Susan, Sandra, Randy, Kevin, Richard, and Roger Jr. Mrs. Maris couldn't be with us tonight, but all of us send our very best wishes and a thank you for her graciousness. On behalf of everyone in Major League Baseball, I want to thank both Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa for providing us with a home run chase that has captivated sports fans around the world. You have made this a summer that generations will remember. To acknowledge Mark for breaking the 37-year-old single-season home run record set by the great Roger Maris, I am honored to present Mark the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. Mark is the first recipient of this award, and it is only fitting that it is being presented to the player who has broken baseball's most important individual record. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, Commissioner Seelig. It goes without saying that Tony La Russa, the Cardinal coaches, and Mark's teammates have certainly enjoyed this chase this summer. And here with a special presentation from the Cardinal players is Cardinal catcher Tom Lampkin.
Well, first of all, we just like to thank the fans that came out and supported us through all the ups and downs that we've had this season. When Mark said in a press conference a few days ago that we had the best fans here in St. Louis, believe me, I've been all over the country, and he wasn't lying. On behalf of the players, the coaches, the staff, we'd like to congratulate Mark on this unbelievable, remarkable feat and thank him for letting us be a part of it. We have a lineup card with everybody's signature on it as our way of saying thanks for the lifetime of memories. We won't forget these as long as we live. Thank you.
One more speaker, one more gift, and then you'll hear from the man of the moment. Here with a special gift from the Cardinals, on behalf of you great fans who have thrilled to the exploits all season, is the Cardinals chairman of the board and the general partner, Mr. Bill DeWitt, Jr.
Thanks, Jack. On behalf of the St. Louis Cardinals and baseball's greatest fans, congratulations, Mark, for accomplishing one of the greatest feats in the history of sports. Your majestic home runs have captivated the nation, and we are proud to have you join baseball's all-time greats as a member of the Cardinals, a 106-year-old storied franchise for which this is clearly a defining moment. And in front of Hall of Famers who saw you today, Lou Brock, Stan Musial, Jack Buck, Red Shandy, and at home, Bob Gibson and Enos Slaughter. Your quest for Babe Ruth and Roger Maris has been marked with respect and grace and a wonderful style. We salute you, we congratulate you, and most of all, we thank you. And it goes without saying that one day, number 25 will be parked right up there. Now, as a small memento on this historic occasion, for all that you have done for us in the Cardinal community, please look to the right field wagon gate. A classic car for a classic slugger and true American hero. A 62 Cardinal Red Corvette for 62 home runs.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you feast your eyes on that lovely gift, I want to bring a member of the Cardinal ground crew to the microphone and to the stage. And the reason why is that Mr. Tim Farnaris, a member of the Cardinal ground crew, ended up with the baseball that was hit for home run number 62, and he wants to present it to Mark McGwire.
Mr. McGwire, I think I have something that belongs to you.
I was going to tell you to sit down so we could get up and give him a standing ovation. But you're already on your feet. And the reason you are on your feet is because of this man, number 25, Mark McGwire.
Let's see, where do I start? Well, first of all, thank all the owners here in St. Louis for bringing me over here. And that beautiful car right there. I'd like to thank all my teammates for putting up with all the media for the last couple of months, and really putting up with me. And this belongs to you as well as it belongs to me, and I thank every one of you. To all the Marises, for being so kind, supportive, and understanding the true feeling that their father is in my heart. And when I touched this bat tonight before the game, I knew tonight was going to be the night. And I can honestly now say I can rest my bat alongside Roger Maris's bat in the Hall of Fame, and I'm damn proud of it. To all my family, to my great ex-wife, her husband, to get my son here on time yesterday. Al, you're a rock. I guess finally, to end this night is historical, and when I drove to the ballpark today, I honestly and truly wanted to hit it for the city. You guys have never made me feel more welcome coming here last year. I remember my first at bat, standing ovation, and I'll remember my last one a few years down the line. But I'll tell you what, the best fans in America, the best fans in baseball, thank you. Let's enjoy the night.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for our ball club which is playing very well, it's off to Cincinnati and Houston, so those fans can cheer Mark McGwire and the Cardinals. Let's hear it one more time to cap off this wonderful evening for Mark McGwire, the new single-season home run king. Our favorite number is 62. Nice going, Mark.
Mark McGwire making his exit at the stadium after hitting home run number 62 in one of the most genuine moments you're going to see in sports. McGwire's homer and the reaction to it can be covered all night long by ESPN. We'll be going back to St. Louis for still more live coverage. Baseball Tonight, folks, just getting ready to do their show. They'll be on real soon. But right now, a very timely story. Mark McGwire's 62nd homer no doubt will stand out as one of the greatest home runs in the history of the game, but he certainly has company in that competition.
This one particular time when I went to bat, Charlie Root was pitching. And I looked down at center field and I floored him. I said, I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole.
Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There it goes. A long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Two on, the Red Sox lead at 2-0 in the 7th inning here at Fenway. Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get it. It's a home run. A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent.
Transformer up there.
And there's a long drive to right field. It's maybe the end of the pennant, but it is up and gone. The Yankees win the pennant as Chris Stamler hits a home run.
And it's swung on, fly ball, center field. Dawson at the wall. That ball is out of here, and a home run for Rick Monday.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game on a home run by the Wizard.
From the strike. First pitch hit deep to left field. Way back. Guerrero will look up. Jack Clark has just put the Cardinals ahead. A towering 3-run home run in the 9th inning.
Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left field. Downing is going back. It's gone. It is gone. Dave Henderson and the Boston Red Sox have taken the lead.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball going deep to left. That's how you do it. Back to the wall goes Berra. It is over the fence, home run. The Pirates win. And the fly ball to center field is deep. That's going to be way back, and that's going to be gone. Reggie Jackson is his 3rd home run of the game.
Rhodes cuts at the first pitch. And there goes the ball down the right field line. A home run into the seats, and the ball game's over. Uh-oh. That's gone. They might be going to call George Brett out. Well, yeah, he's out. Yes, Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And Damon Matt.
They're standing up. Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there.
McMack. Swing and a shot into the corner. It might make it. There it is. 62, folks. It just got over the left field wall in the corner. And we have a new home run champion.
Yeah, we do. That last homer there will stand out for a long while. Baseball Tonight. It's all over the story. They're coming up real soon. Stay for that all-night coverage of Mark McGwire's 62nd.
Mark McGwire, you have just broken the home run record. What are you going to do next?
We're going to Disney World.
Sports Center is brought to you by Lee Dungarees. Can't bust 'em.
Mark McGwire did all the work. We just sat here. Stuart, Scott, Rich Eisen, they're getting set for the late Sports Center. Everything about what happened in St. Louis, number 62.
I think we're finding that Rick Matthews is the only pitcher who can keep Mark McGwire in the ballpark. He was the batting practice pitcher at the All-Star game. For Kenny Mayne, I'm Dan Patrick. It's been a pleasure. Baseball Tonight's up next. Carl?
"61 homers, man, that oughta's tall. 61 homers, 61, that's all. The way the boys are swinging, the record's gonna fall. Back in St. Louis, that may be the place. When the city's jumping, Sammy's keeping pace. The way the cats are hitting puts a smile upon my face. You know we're gonna crown the king of swing. The record's going down the king of swing. And he'll be rolling down the king of swing. You know I like the sound of that.
Pitch. And McGwire drives one to deep left. This could be. It is a home run. Number 62 for Mark McGwire. A slice of history and a magical moment in St. Louis.
Welcome, everybody, to Baseball Tonight. A historical evening here, a historical evening in St. Louis, really a historical evening worldwide when you talk about baseball's impact on the world. Alongside Peter Gammons and Dave Campbell, I'm Carl Ravitch. Mark McGwire almost said this was a foregone conclusion on his way to the ballpark. When he was squeezing the bat, he said tonight was going to be the night. Did you ever have that feeling tonight?
I thought it was a great chance. I think we all wanted it so much because it was St. Louis. But I also thought it was amazing to kind of watch all the different things unfurl. Nightline every night. Mark McGwire, Nightline every night. NBC leading with this. I mean, he has become the #1 story in this country. And this is something that hasn't happened to baseball or any sport in my lifetime. I think it's an amazing story.
I had a chance last night after he hit number 61 to spend about 2 hours with his college coach, Rod Dato, and I said, you know, Rod, that's a lot of pressure tomorrow because, I mean, if he doesn't hit it tomorrow, they're going to go on the road to Cincinnati and Houston, and he wants to do it so badly for the fans. And Dato said, this kid, ever since I've had him, always has been a guy that can handle the pressure. He says it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he did it tomorrow, and tomorrow was today, and he did.
No, he handled it with grace. Of course, his relationship with the media a lot less strained than was the relationship of Roger Maris's deal with the media back in 1961. The Maris family, minus Roger Maris's widow, who was in the hospital again, suffering from an irregular heartbeat, was on hand, and now they are speaking about what they witnessed this evening.
Next to her would be Randy. And I'm Roger. And I'm the oldest boy.
How emotional was this for you? Were you happy? Were you sad? Was it mixed?
Well, it was very emotional, as to be expected. Hell, I'm still emotional right now. Just sitting here right now, my body's just numb. What was the rest of the question?
Happy, sad, mixed.
Well, I'm extremely happy for Mark. I think all he's done for baseball, all he's done the last you know, 3 years now, hitting the home runs the way he's hit them, you know, I couldn't be happier. And for Mark to be the person that he is and to mean what he means to baseball and to the fans of America, I couldn't think of a better person to be the new home run king for single season.
Here. Does the tribute that your father had today, even though his record was broken, make up for anything that happened in 1961?
Well, I mean, today was very special, but it's been going on all year, and the media's been outstanding. You know, for what happened today, well, I mean, it is a feeling I wish everyone could experience for just the appreciation from the fans here today, and to have Mark include us in the ceremony. That was his special day today. I mean, you know, he's out there hitting 62 home runs. It's never been done before. It's Mark McGwire's day, Mark McGwire's moment. And for him to come over and greet our family and give us hugs and let us partake in his day the way he did was just so special. And it's a moment that we'll never forget.
Here. It seems that your father, Roger, may be closer to the Hall of Fame with all this publicity. How important is that to you, and how do you feel about it?
Well, it's very important to me that he gets in the Hall of Fame. I think that it's the final chapter to his career that's kind of lacking. There's no doubt the wave of media that's been supporting him in 1998. I don't think that's going to do anything but help. And I've said all along, if he doesn't make it this year with all the media hype and Mark and Sammy and Ken Griffey Jr. going after the record the way they have, and all the positive things that have been written and his career looked back into and brought to light, then you know, I don't think it'll ever happen.
Here. Can you tell us what Mark said to you when he came into the stand?
Well, you know, it was such a crazy moment. It was such an emotional moment when he came in there. You know, I just remember him saying that, you know, my dad's always going to be in his heart, and you know, and he just feels like he's been there, and my dad just meant so much to him.
You brushed back at Randy. You brushed back a tear on the podium. Was it a tear of joy or a tear of sadness?
A little of both. I'm pretty emotional as it is anyway, and I get pretty emotional over stuff like this when big events happen like this. And you know, being born in '61, this, you know, had that much more meaning to me. So, you know, it was sadness, but you know, Mark's such a great guy, such a great representative of baseball. I mean, you know, what can you say? The guy deserved to do it.
What made you sad?
I don't know if it was sadness. I think just, you know, caught up in the moment of everything. You know, just the emotion of it all, and you know, Dad's held the record for the 37 years, and we never thought we'd see this day come, and I think that's what I was probably a little sad about.
What has this extended weekend in St. Louis been like compared to what you expected when you got off the plane?
Well, I don't know what we really expected to begin with. You know, I didn't know if Mark would hit a home run when we landed here in St. Louis, but to have him do what he did here in St. Louis is just outstanding. You know, Dad played here, had a great career here, loved St. Louis, loved the fans of St. Louis, and for it to happen here the way it did was very, very special. And like I said earlier, for him to include us in his moment the way he did was just pure class, and that just exemplifies Mark McGwire as a person.
How do you think your dad would have felt if he were still alive today?
Well, I mean, I don't think he wants his record broken. I don't think any athlete does. I think he had been happy for Mark and proud for Mark for his accomplishments, and you know, he would have been very proud of Mark as a player, but I think more so as a person, because Mark McGwire is his class, and that pretty much explains Mark McGwire.
Larry? How is your mom doing, and what has her reaction been to all of this?
Well, I don't know what her reaction was tonight. She's in the hospital tonight, so she wasn't able to be here. I imagine her reaction's like everyone else, you know, very emotional and very touched. And I think her state right now, I think she's stable, and I think she's doing fine. The doctors just have to get her medication right, and she'll be fine.
Were you surprised to see Mark jump into the stands and come to you?
Yeah, he's a big guy to be jumping in the stands. I just didn't want to see him get hurt, you know. That'd be the saddest thing. But yeah, I mean, when he came down there and I saw him walking towards us, you know, I kind of thought he might do that, and I kind of hoped he did, because I wanted to just kind of, you know, embrace him for what he did and kind of share in the moment. And for him to come up there and do that and let us partake in that moment, it's outstanding, and it's something we'll never forget.
Gonna take a last one for the Maris's.
Okay.
Kevin, your father owning the record had been somewhat bittersweet. Is there any relief now that someone else owns the record?
I don't know. Go ahead. What was the question again?
Owning the record has been somewhat bittersweet. Is there any feeling now that the record has been broken, that the bittersweetness has gone?
Are we happy with that, you're asking? Well, I don't think there's any sense of relief. I mean, I'm not happy that the record's gone by any means. I'm very happy for Mark that he's done what he's done, and now that he's a new home run king, I think that's outstanding. But you know, I wouldn't be happy, and it's not a good feeling to know that my dad's record's gone in that respect. But then I can turn it around, and I'm elated and just so happy for Mark that he's done what he's done, and he fully deserves what he's accomplished. And you know, he's a special person, and I'm very, very proud that he's got what he's got.
We'll take one last question. When you came here, are there still wounds that needed to be healed, and did today heal them?
Well, I think, you know, today, I think America saw Mark do what he did, and I think it kind of climaxed the ending of what everybody's been looking to see, and through the long walk, I think, you know, Dad's had so many things brought to light, and this was kind of the final chapter to everything.
Okay, thank you.
So, Roger Maris and Mark McGwire forever linked. Ironies upon ironies. October 1st, 1998, Mark McGwire will turn 35 years old. October 1st, 1961, the year, the day that Roger Maris hit his 61st. Mark McGwire born 2 years to the day after Roger Maris hit his 61st home run. All right, in case you're just getting back from the game and want to see what it looked like on TV, in case you're just joining us, let's recap the Cubs-Cardinals on the night McGwire hit 62. Top one, things started good for the Cubs. Mark raced up the middle. It scored Jose Hernandez. It gave the Cubs a 1-0 lead. And then Sammy Sosa, who of course has been a huge part of this, got pitches to hit but fouled a few off. And then on 2-2, Sammy ripped City through the left side for a single. First and second, the Cubs would add a second run. They're up 2-0 after one. Bottom one, McGwire's getting ready on deck. And in the meantime, Traxel picks off Delano DeShields. So McGwire comes up with nobody on and 2 outs, and the flash bulbs are popping. On 61, 3-0, and McGwire pulls one. So after 1 at bats, no home runs. Inning over. Top 3, 2-0, man on first. It's Sosa again. Outside pitch, and he pulls it. 5-4-3 double play, inning over. To the bottom of the 4th, McGwire's coming up. Of course, they have the new infrared mark balls that are being put into play. The Roger Maris family looking on with interest. Again, the mother hospitalized. Her condition not believed, according to a hospital spokesman, to be serious. Steve Traxel, first pitch. history. Barely enough. 341 feet later. The biggest home run of his career is also the shortest home run of this season. Maris family, of course, not the only family in attendance. Mark McGwire's son, Matt, was there. His ex-wife and her husband also there. Family playing a big role. Maris's, McGwire's, Sosa's. What a moment for Mark McGwire. Sammy Sosa comes in. He gives him a big hug. For all intents and purposes, this was a love fest. He has been such a big part of this, and of course Sammy Sosa with his 58 home runs said to McGwire before the game, "I'm still coming at you, big fella." Take another look at the shots off the bats of Mark McGwire. And again, the Maris family and Mark's tribute to Roger and the messages that were sent throughout the evening. Certainly something that the Maris family will bring back to their homes across the country. North Dakota, of course. Fargo probably feels a little bit better about itself, thanks to the relationship McGwire has shown to Roger. That was it, and you see, he nearly missed. In fact, did miss first base. There was a rule in baseball which says base coach can't help you back to first, and of course, I think on this night, that rule would be ignored. J.D. Drew in his first big league at bat nearly hit a home run. It went foul. Then Drew went down looking on strikes. In the same inning, McGwire's next at bat, and Steve Traxel intentionally walks him. Wouldn't be booed after 62, and you can understand considering the Cubs' position in the wild card race, but boy, the 11-minute delay, the longest in a regular season game since Cal Ripken's record-setting night, and Traxel was disheveled. 5-2 on a Langford home run. And of course, the night belonged to Big Mac. 62 home runs in 145 games for number 25. His teammates said throughout the course of this season that there were many nights they were in awe. And this, of course, one of them. 6-3, the final score. The Cubs, would they lose ground in the wild card race? Would it matter to them? How important is it for them to just sort of get out from underneath the shadow of Mark McGwire and leave St. Louis? They lose a couple here. The winner on the game is Merker, but McGwire, 1 for 2, 62 home runs, and how high will he go? Who knows? He has been very cordial with the media, very soft-spoken. What was he speaking about after this evening?
I'm almost speechless. I mean, it's I've been talking about this since January, and I get to 61. It's one swing away, and then next thing you know, I hit a ball that all of a sudden disappeared on me. And I tell you what, it's I totally believe in fate, and I believe that's what happened this week. And thank the man upstairs. The whole country has been involved in this, I think, since after the All-Star break, and it's just, you know, people have been saying it's bringing the country together. So be it. I'm happy to bring the country together. As I went over to the box and talked to Roger's kids, I told them today when I met with the Hall of Fame, they pulled out Roger's bat that when he hit his 61st home run, and I touched it. I touched it with my heart. Now I can honestly say that my bat will lie next to his, and I'm damn proud of it. It's been awesome. I mean, I tell you what, the last week and a half, I've, you know, my stomach's been turning, my heart's been beating a million miles a minute. It's to do it that fast, I don't know. I just give thanks to the man upstairs and all of them, Roger Maris, Babe Ruth, everybody's watching up there. But it's what a feat. What a perfect way to end the week by the last game in the homestand. and hitting the 62nd for the city of St. Louis and all the great fans. You know, I had a couple milestones this year, hitting my 400th and 50th on the road, and I really, truly wanted to do it here. I really, truly wanted to do it here, guys, and I did it. Thank you, St. Louis.
Well, here is the tail of the tape. Chasing history has become making history as far as Mark McGwire is concerned. 1 for 2. He hit it at 8:18 Central Time, 9:18 in the East. His 62nd. Sammy Sosa went 1 for 4 with the walk of the game, and of course he is on 58 home runs. You talk about emotions, Peter. Mark McGwire has begun to wear them on his sleeve, and I think that sort of exposes him, and I don't know how you can help but be impressed with what we've seen over the last 72 hours.
Well, what we've seen is somebody who is human, is frail, is not afraid to cry, is not afraid to admit sorry. He's a very appealing person to a lot of people. He's drawn a tremendous swath on the female audience who see this guy who's dealt with a divorce, has been a very civil person, still a tremendous relationship with his ex-wife. They've been able to show that you can raise a child in this sort of situation. And believe me, that's an audience that has not been drawn to sports. And that's one of the things. I think that very dignified people around him, from Tony La Russa to Walt Jocketty to Bill DeWitt, I think that that whole message that has come forth with the Cardinals has really been wonderful.
Yeah, and I think you got to give a lot of thanks to Mark McGwire. His graciousness to the Maris family, I think, has helped heal a wound that's festered with that family for a number of years. You know, Roger was a lot like McGwire when Mark was younger. He was very introspective, quiet, didn't really want to socialize. But I think maybe if the fans would have showered Maris with the type of love that St. Louis has given Mark McGwire, that perhaps Roger Maris would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, we'll have much more on Roger Maris a little later on this program, but we talk about emotions, and how about the man who manages the St. Louis Cardinals? Tony La Russa came back for this game after the funeral of his mother. He's kind enough to join Jeremy Schaap now live at Busch Stadium. Jeremy?
Carl, when Mark McGwire simultaneously hit his biggest and shortest home run of the year, he shared the moment with his teammates, with his family, with the family of the man whose record he broke, and with his first manager in the major leagues, Tony La Russa. Tony, how proud are you of Mark?
Well, I'm just in awe. I think I'm in awe because coming home this weekend, when you think of the expectations, the fans wanted here locally, wanted him to do something special. We had a 5-game homestand. His family was in town. The media was all here. And how he was able to, you know, it's just like putting, you know, you get that putter back. I don't know how he got the bat back. I don't know how he centered 3 balls, but to hit 60, 61, 62, I'm in awe. And I've grown to admire him, not just professionally, but personally. But I think this is a crowning glory. For him to homer tonight is unbelievable.
How has Mark grown in the 12 years that you've known him as a manager?
Oh, every way. Professionally, he's just, you know, he's such a much better hitter because he's so much smarter, and he's totally dedicated to the craft. I mean, he works every day, and everybody that's in the clubhouse sees him do that. But personally, I'm just overjoyed. You know, his parents would be proud of him. His efforts with child abuse, the way he is with teammates, the way he's representing baseball. I mean, this guy is, I think, the epitome of the role model, and I think he's absolutely golden. I don't think there's even one little nick in his armor.
It seems that this is the first time since the 1994 baseball strike that America's national pastime is again a national passion. Are you proud that your team is part of that?
Well, I'm not, you know, that makes it too personal for me. I'm just privileged that all of us with the Cardinals had a first eyewitness look at it. We saw Mark and Sammy and some of the other great hitters in baseball have really gotten the thing going this year. Always some great pitchers, but I think obviously what Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa have done here, finally Mark McGwire, that's really captivated everybody, and we just feel privileged that we were here to watch it.
Tony, thanks very much for your time. I know it's been an emotional time for you. Carl, that's it from here in St. Louis.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much to Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa, of course, the manager of Mark McGwire when he was at Oakland. And when McGwire came to Oakland, Tony La Russa did say about him, he was as fundamentally sound as any hitter he had ever seen. There were, of course, a sellout crowd there, 43,688 on hand to witness it. One of the members of the crowd, the commissioner, Bud Selig. After the game, he had this to say and other reaction.
You have made this a summer that generations will remember. To acknowledge Mark for breaking the 37-year-old single-season home run record set by the great Roger Maris, I am honored to present Mark the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award.
We'd like to congratulate Mark on this unbelievable, remarkable feat and thank him for letting us be a part of it. We have a lineup card with everybody's signature on it as our way of saying thanks for the lifetime of memories. We won't forget these as long as we live.
Mr. McGwire, I think I have something that belongs to you.
To all the Marises for being so kind, supportive, and understanding the true feeling that their father is in my heart. And when I touched his bat tonight before the game, I knew tonight was going to be the night. And I can honestly now say I can rest my bat alongside Roger Maris' bat in the Hall of Fame, and I'm damn proud of it.
Well, I tell you, I mean, we hear a lot of athletes say things, and you kind of look at them and you say, you know, he didn't really mean that. Every time that Mark McGwire spoke this evening and over the last 48 to 72 hours, you genuinely believe everything that's come out of his mouth. Now the question for Mark McGwire is, what do you do next? I mean, is 62 the end? Obviously, he can hit more. Emotionally, though, how about a letdown factor?
I think that can be a letdown for a couple of days, especially where he goes out on the road. He goes to Cincinnati and then Houston, albeit very good baseball towns. But I think what we have here is kind of an interesting situation because I think the media will now drop off of this. But about a week from now, if Sammy goes out to San Diego and hits about 3 home runs, this thing isn't over. As he said, you know, somebody asked him about the number. He said, well, see me on September 27th. So we could be in the last 10 days of the season for another race, which is also going to be very compelling. But the great thing is that the national audience has now moved in and started to participate in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many ironies about this whole thing, though, Peter. I mean, tonight, only in middle America, in the magical kingdom of Cardinal Land tonight, all the talk about the baseball, where you're going to sell it or whatever, it barely goes over the fence. One of the kids in the ground crew gets it. I mean, you can't write a script any better than this. I mean, I would have loved to see a 500-foot home run to really put a capper on it, but, you know, in retrospect, it was probably perfect. It did this, and the kid was able to get it and run it right back to him.
Yeah, because as much as you've talked about, this is about families, it's also sort of brought back that very young generation. The kids are now talking about McGwire. They're saying, you know, it may not be Michael Jordan released right now. It's Mark McGwire, who they all want to be like. Of course, Tim Fornerus, the grounds crew member, did return that ball. All 6 of the balls that McGwire has hit, his last 6 home runs, the balls have been returned. As for the other vitals, well, 6'5", 250 pounds. You'll all remember that about Mark McGwire. He handles a bat like most handle a toothpick. As for the piece of wood, it's 34 inches and 33 ounces. It's accounted for 62 home runs, and we can count on more.
First pitch, rocket deep toward left. He did it! He did it! He did it! He did it!
McGwire's favorite day of the week to homer is, guess, Tuesday, where he's whacked 15 long balls. And if he doesn't get you Tuesday, Big Mac's weekend tear is equally awesome. He knocked out 11 Saturday and 10 on Friday. The best day for a pitcher to catch him, Monday. He's got 5. The only inning McGwire has gone homerless in this season is the 2nd. His best inning to hit a home run, guess, the 4th. The same inning he belted number 62. He's got 11 home runs that inning. Each of his home runs have been memorable, but how many have been meaningful? 28 of McGwire's homers have either tied the game or given the Cardinals the lead this season. Included in those, 2 walk-off home runs.
The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and a drive to left field. McGwire has hit a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals win again.
There is no advantage for the pitcher when McGwire is batting with 2 strikes. You get ahead, you're behind. He's hit 20 home runs with 2 strikes, 20 home runs with 1 strike, and 22 home runs with no strikes. The only pitch count McGwire hasn't homered on
is 3-0. In this historical run, McGwire has beaten up on some less than stellar pitching. Of the 57 victims McGwire is homered against, 18 have 3 or less years of Major League experience. 9 of them, rookies. 25 of the pitchers have ERAs over 4.5, and only 12 of his home runs have come off pitchers with at least 10 wins. One Cy Young winner has made the list, Oral Hershiser, but he won the Cy back in 1988. The oldest pitcher to feed Big Mac, 43-year-old Dennis Martinez. In fact, only 4 pitchers were born when Roger Maris hit his 61st in '61. Martinez, Hershiser, Mark Langston, and the man who gave up number 61, Mike Morgan. The youngest pitcher, the guy who gave up number 60, 21-year-old Dennis Reyes. And speaking of young, McGwire's highest home run total against one team is the 70s hit against the Marlins, and that includes one off a guy who spells his name J-E-S-U-S. Jesus Sanchez, that is. Clearly a season of divine intervention. Well, put him on a plane and he'll give you 5 miles. Mark McGwire's home runs have traveled. Last couple have been laser shots. They haven't been those dramatic, long-lasting bombs, but they got out in a hurry. Sammy Sosa's home runs, the 58 of them have traveled 4.4 miles. So a great deal of distance between the two of them. The other games on the night that McGwire hit 62. Giants and the Padres. San Francisco locked in a great wild card race. Padres 6 away from clinching the division title. Tony Gwynn leaves the building. 13th of the year. We're tied at 1. Top 4. Bases loaded. Andy Ashby's in a jam. 1 out, and Kirk Reeder is at the plate. The pitcher gets it up the middle. Ashby gets a glove on it. Gomez, though, 6-3 double play. Ashby out of trouble. Soup in the 5th.
Well, Jeff Kent, little excuse me swing. Remember Jason Kendall coming to the plate once upon a time? Well, Marvin Bernard tried to do it, but not so lucky. Hernandez got him.
Ellis Burks takes an outside pitch to center field. Finley charges. Bond scores from second. Next batter, J.T. Snow. Big inning here. Rip City, and it drops in front of Gwynn. His throw cut off. Kent scores, and the Giants put 3 on in the 5th. That gave them a 5-1 lead. San Francisco takes care of San Diego 5-1, so a couple wins now for the Giants.
Padres had been 14-0 against the West at home before the Giants came calling. That's 2 Giant wins in a row.
And Ashby is the loser now, 16-8. 8 hits, 5 earned runs in 5 innings of work, and the Padres' magic number sticks at 6. Ashby had been 2-0 against the Giants this season. To the Mets and the Phillies, and it's rockin' and rollin' time. You're not kidding, it's drilled. Kevin Stefcik, 2nd of the year, 4-0 Phillies. Hideo Nomo, 2 2/3, 7 runs. Bobby Escalera with Willie Blair on the hill, 2 on, 2 off. It's an 8-0 lead. Escalera's 6. Bronya's up, 1 on in the bottom of the 5th, and the former Met Hunting, 20th of the year, 10-1 Philadelphia. Everyone kept an eye on the Maris chase, and when McGwire hit his 62nd, Bobby Valentine was proud to be in this sport. Not proud to be affiliated with the Mets tonight, though. Yikes! 7th home run given up by the team. Ties the team high. The last time they allowed 7 home runs in a game, 1967. And the Phillies spanked the Mets by a score of 16-4. So the Giants pick up a game there. 17 hits for the Philadelphia Phillies. Bird gets the win. He has been real good. Remember, beat Randy Johnson. So the Cubs and Mets locked even at 80 and 65. And there are the Giants. 1 game. This is tremendous.
And the Giants have the best schedule right now. But I do think with the Cubs leaving St. Louis, they can get back, concentrate, get Sammy back, and they can climb back on his back. Key, though, Friday. Kerry Wood starts. He says that elbow is all right, but we shall see.
The other effect, too, of having so many people get locked into McGwire, they see there are other great things going on in baseball. They can get interested in this wild card race as well. Well, Brad Radke won 20 games last season. 20 of his 35 starts were quality starts. He signed a new 3-year deal this season, all not good in Brad's neighborhood. A 10-13 record, eerily similar to his 95 and 96 seasons when he went 11-14 and 11-16. In both those years, he had streaks where he lost 5 straight starts. Currently mired in another one of those bad losing streaks. He has made 7 starts without a win. However, good news, he faces the Anaheim Angels, and you look at his record against them and his ERA against them, you can't find it, 1.73. Meantime, facing him, Steve Sparks, looking for a career-best 7th straight win. Top 1, the knuckleballer, against Marty Cordova. Oh, Marty doesn't need to swing at it. Phil Nevin couldn't catch it. Otis Nixon scores. Twins are up 1-0. Same score with 1 on. Pat Mears swung at 1. He goes to right. Fair by about 2 feet. David Ortiz going to try to score. Lumbering around third. And barely. If it was a good throw, he's out.
Well, David Ortiz obviously not blessed with speed, but he does get a pretty good slide in here. He gets his foot right into the plate as quickly as possible, and a good call.
Brad Radke would cruise in the 4th. Here, the changeup can be nasty.
He's got a great changeup, and one of the things Brad Radke just lost a little bit. He lost a little bit of his arm angle in this slump, lost a little bit of his command. But look tonight as if he had that arm speed back to make that changeup effective.
And they are still underway. Bottom 9, though, Twins on top of the Anaheim Angels, doing their best to make a game of it. However, they do not have a threat mounted as we speak. Terry Steinbach hit his 13th, and Jim Edmonds 3 for 4 for Anaheim. A game we'll keep our eye on and let you know when it goes foul, or when it goes final. Royals, Rangers. Royce Clayton sort of posing, doing a little staring as this one goes down the line, and a home run for the Rangers. They go on top of Texas 2-zip. Juan Gonzalez's reaction to the home run that Mark McGwire hit. And back to the game we go. Mike Sweeney down the right field line. 3 runs have come around. It's a double. And the Royals on top of the Rangers 4-3. Bottom 9. Nobody down. Texas down 6-4. Mark McLemore against Jeff Montgomery. You can't do that. He walks the leadoff man. Next batter's Luis Alicea. And he singles into right. So the Rangers down 2 with nobody out have men on first and second. It's all about Rusty Greer. Down the line and left. Fair ball. McLemore in. Greer on second. Texas down only 6-5. Nobody out. Juan Gonzalez up. First base open. They intentionally walk him. After Will Clark struck out, Pudge Rodriguez. Excuse me. It's good for a game winner. And Texas comes all the way back and wins 7-6. And we're getting towards the end here. You never know how big wins can be, but a victory like this can go a long way.
Well, the Rangers have been losing a lot of games like this. We mentioned in the earlier show, 6 out of 7 defeats by their bullpen and their decisions, but tonight they get a big one.
Jeremy Giambi, 3 for 5. A home run, it was his first. He is, of course, the brother of the A's, Jason Giambi. Back to Fenway Park, the Red Sox and the Yankees. David Cone got in a bit of a jam here. Nomar jumps him in a 0-0 game in the second. Nomar goes to the screen. Dave, your turn.
Well, Pedro Martinez may be a little bit unlucky here. Thinks he has a called strike 3 to Derek Jeter. Mark Johnson calls it a ball. Jeter draws the walk, and he eventually moves around to third base. Tino Martinez, a little weak grounder to Mo, but he can't make the play at the plate. Back to first, just barely in time. The score tied at 1. Martinez fights back, gets Darryl Strawberry swinging to end the inning. Pedro not too happy with Mark Johnson.
Fascinating night watching 2 guys throw for the first base side of the rubber. David Cone, great forkball there to Nomar. He throws the forkball away to O'Leary. Curveball to Mike Stanley. And look at that breaking ball to Mike Benjamin. Boy, Cone, phenomenal going after number 19.
7 innings, 2 hits, 11 Ks. In the 8th inning, George Steinbrenner, who was in attendance, stood, as did the rest of Fenway Park. 3-2, second and third for Stanley against Rivera. He walks him to load him up. Red Sox have done this a number of times. Could Darren Bragg be a hero and bring him from behind? No. High cheese from Rivera. Bragg check and check out. Yankees hold on and win by a final score of 3-2. A frustrating night for Martinez, who was not at all happy with the umpiring behind home plate.
No, and they scored 3 runs without hitting the ball out of the infield on him.
So Cone wins his 19th. Pedro does not. Instead, he is now 18-5. Well, The race in the National League wild card, very tight. The race in the American League, not as tight, but certainly tightening. Toronto 4.5 back, 5 back in the loss column. The Blue Jays did not play tonight. The Rangers 5.5 games back. Much, much more on Mark McGwire. It's really not a little red Corvette, but with a guy his size and certainly his stature on this night, it looks like one. There's your single season home run champion.
Now you can have your very own cellular phone absolutely free.
Finally, a cell phone I can afford.
No deposit, no credit check, no turn downs. Just one great phone totally free. Now you can have the security and convenience of your own free cellular phone.
This is definitely the way to go.
With Quintel Cellular, there's no activation fee, and your cellular phone is free.
Now I'm back in business.
Compact, memory features.
It has everything you need or want in your cellular phone. Call now and find out how you can get your very own Quintel Cellular phone for free. There's no deposit, no credit check, no turn downs, no activation fee. Just one great phone, absolutely free. Call now.
Call 1-800-662-7365.
Mark McGwire, you have just broken the home run record. What are you going to do next?
We're going to Disney World.
Baseball Tonight is being brought to you by Bank of America. Put your life in motion.
Welcome back, everyone, to Baseball Tonight. So Mark McGwire with 62 home runs, Ken Griffey over 50, Sammy Sosa with 58. Everyone says this is all about expansion. This is about watered-down pitching, but a great statistic. Last season, home runs were hit at a rate of 2.05 per game. This season, home runs are being hit at a rate of 2.05 per game. Mike Morgan gave up 61. Steve Traxel gave up 62. What will Steve Traxel take from this night?
I'll watch him around the bases, you know, watch what, you know, going over to see his parents and stuff like that. Not, you know, that's the stuff that, you know, I'll remember about it. Nothing, I mean, there was no joy involved in it. For me, it was just, you know, seeing his reactions and all that type of thing.
Playing against him in college, you know, you never think that Mark McGwire is going to be the, you know, this guy playing for the USC Trojans, this pitcher for the USC Trojans was going to, you know, break Roger Maris's record. And, you know, when I look at it that way, it's dumbfounding, it's mind-boggling, and like I said, I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, Roger Maris hit his final home run on the final game of the '61 season. Thus, Tracy Stallard was the last guy that he really had a chance to hit a home run off of. A lot of people think that Steve Traxel's name is now going to go down in history as sort of an answer to a trivia question. And while that may be the case, I don't necessarily think that Steve Traxel's name is going to be the one people remember. How about you?
No, I really don't. I mean, we're going to have to see. History's going to be the judge of that. But to me, it may be the guy that gives up number 67, 8, 9, or 70, or whatever he ends up with. But I don't think there's going to be the stigma on that. I think just because of the celebration with McGwire and everything else, I'd be surprised. I mean, you know, it's not like that thing we had with Tracy Stallard. I just don't believe it will be.
No, and as Dave said, we're not over yet.
Right.
I mean, there's a distinct possibility that the pitcher who gives up the most historic home run is actually going to be the guy. Let's say Sosa hits 67 on the final day of the season to beat McGwire 67 to 66. I mean, that's the pitcher that's going to be remembered. But I don't think there'll be quite that stigma or that trivia stigma that's attached to Tracy Stallard, who at the time looked like he was going to be a terrific pitcher, or Tom Zachary, who won 182 games in the big leagues, or, you know, Jack Fisher for his home runs that he gave up. I don't think it's that big a deal. I really don't.
To the credit of Traxel, Morgan, the Cubs, the Reds, which of course is where McGwire goes tomorrow, and if he plays, he'll face Pete Harnisch. Pitchers did throw pitches. It wasn't a question of not giving him anything to hit, and even the Cubs were involved in the wild card race. They gave him pitches to hit. All right, the Orioles and the A's, other scores tonight. In the bottom of the eighth, Baltimore is on top by a score of 3-2 on the road. Harold Baines hit his 9th home run. Mike Bordick starting to hit a little bit too late, but the O's are on top 3-2. Elsewhere, the Devil Rays on top of Seattle. Junior hit a couple 49 and 50, but not tonight. He is 0 for 2. He's got 70 walks in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tampa Bay is on top by a score of 10-0. Much more to do on Mark McGwire and his memorable night, the night he blasted his 62nd home run. Another memorable one on the way to 62.
High fastball! See you later! Grand slam!
We ask a lot of the organ at 1 o'clock at the East, still cranking. The Angels are not. Strauss pops out, and on the night the Rangers win, the Angels lose to the Twins. So Texas would pick up a game. Minnesota shuts them out 5-0 behind a great performance from Brad Radke, who paid 7 and only allowed 1 walk. Sparks' winning streak comes to a halt. So the West race now just 2 games separate Texas and Anaheim, and they do play each other. Texas hosts the Angels starting on the 16th of September. Minnesota is at Anaheim again tomorrow night. Kansas City is at Texas to battle the Rangers. Back to the National League. The Braves lose to the Expos 6-3. And Houston now with the identical record as Atlanta has in the National League. Maddox loses. He's now 17-8. How much concern in Atlanta?
Well, Dave talked in the first show about there are some mechanical things with Maddox. If his arm is all right, and people say it is, then I have to believe it is a mechanical thing involving the position of the head and maybe just a little bit in his delivery and his timing. But still looking at that bullpen, and it's really interesting that they put Marty Malloy in there at second base, so they put Keith Lockhart coming off the bench. It'll be interesting to see who's in that starting lineup when they start the playoffs.
Tiebreaker in a scenario in which Houston and Atlanta finished the season with the identical records. Houston has the tiebreaker advantage over Atlanta. Bagwell in this game against the Reds went 3 for 3. First grand slam of his career, 31 home runs. Craig Biggio goes 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored. He also hit his 46th double in the game. Bergman gets great support.
The Astros have picked up 7.5 games to tie the Braves since the Randy Johnson trade.
I showed you the grand slam off the bat of Mark McGwire against Andy Bennis. Showed you his 62nd when we come back. How about rolling the VCR on all 62 of McGwire's home runs from this season?
The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and a drive to left field. McGwire has hit a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals win again.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by Oldsmobile.
The Dodgers finally show their 2 million faithful that they can close the door. Fans of all ages watch as they beat the Braves to clinch the pennant on the earliest date in National League history. The celebration begins after their 9th straight, and the Bums, led by Snyder, Reese, Champion, Robinson, never look back. They beat the Yankees in a 7-game series for their first World Championship.
That was September 8th, 1955.
Now's the time to discover the great selection of all 1998 Oldsmobile cars and trucks available at Discover Days. Test drive the Intrigue, chosen over Camry and Accord for Automobile Magazine's All-Star Award for Best Family Sedan. Right now, you can receive our lowest financing of the year at 0.9% and enjoy over $3,000 in finance savings on the Intrigue. Discover Days with incredible 0.9% financing on all 98 Oldsmobiles at your local Oldsmobile dealer now.
Welcome back to Baseball Tonight. Mark McGwire never let the walks bother him, 28 of which have been intentional. He now has 149 free passes, 2 shy of the National League record set by Bonds, 21 shy of tying Babe Ruth's single-season mark of 170. McGwire said all along there were a number of factors involved if he were to get the record. The one he had no control over, the opposing pitchers. Well, they cooperated enough times for Mac to make history.
I don't play the game for records. I play the game because I love it.
That's 3 in 3 days. It's a 3-home run night for Big Mac.
Watch that baby. Oh, man. Third home run of the night.
Runner going. There it goes. See you later.
There it goes. Number 25.
Number 31 on the year for Mark McGwire. Halfway to the record. Home runs on July 12th. Number 45 for McGwire.
And I still truly believe if somebody got to 50 by September, they honestly have a real shot at trying to break this record.
Number 50 for Mark McGwire. He is the first player in Major League history to hit 50 home runs in 3 consecutive years.
I have a shot.
Home run number 54, where are you? Oh, my goodness.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance.
McGwire with number 55. Oh, what a shot!
Number 56. And ties Hack Wilson's National League season record. 57. A new National League home run record.
Home run number 58.
Make it 59.
Wake up, Babe Ruth. There's company coming. It's Mark McGwire with number 60.
There goes number 61. Is it there? Yes! And McGwire is alone with Roger Maris.
Parking is right. Here's the pitch, and McGwire drives one to deep left. This could be. It is a home run. Number 62 for Mark McGwire. A slice of history and a magical moment in St. Louis. A line drive home run to left for Mark McGwire of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, 62 home runs in 86. The Cardinal team hit 58. Just another example of how powerful this season is for him.
Mark McGwire, first, we talked about the injuries all throughout his career. It really wasn't that way. The first 6 years he played for the Oakland A's, he only averaged missing 12 games a year, some of it rest, some of it nagging injuries. Then 1993 through 1995, he missed a total of 308 games with injuries and strike-related matters. Based on the ratio he's hit the last 3 years, one home run every 2.4 games, that means he could have lost 128 homers, which would give him 577 career. Then he's within 200 of Aaron and a legitimate shot. But he had those injuries, so he's got 449 homers.
There was a pretty legitimate question raised by somebody. We saw McGwire in his rookie season. He hit the 49 home runs, and then all of a sudden the injuries came, and now he seems to be a much more mature hitter, obviously with the 3 seasons of 50 home runs. How did that happen?
Just evolution. Hitters work on things. The game changes all the time. I mean, you come up, he hits 49 home runs. Next year, pitchers pitch him a little differently. They make adjustments. He has to make adjustments. He did a lot of things. He got the balance. He started letting his hand go off the bat, very much in the Charlie Lau style, and he freed himself up. He shortened his swing. I mean, it's just one of those players constantly have to work on making themselves better because the other players are doing. Greg Maddux adds something every year. Kevin Brown adds a forkball. Roger Clemens added a forkball about 6 years into his career. These are things that athletes do, and it's his evolution. Of course, he always had that bat speed. He always had that strength, and he always had that tremendous focus. He was always one of those guys, almost like someone would describe it as a cat going after a bird.
A caged animal, which is what he said he felt like, but no longer. He is out of the cage. When we come back, despite the pleas that everyone wants to see Dave Campbell's career home runs on a reel, we're going to show you more of Mark McGwire.
The 0-2 pitch and a high fly ball hit deep to left field. Back goes Becker, back onto the track, back near the wall, and it is out of here, right down the line. Home run number 400 for Mark McGwire.
run into people who smile a little bit when I say I drive a Hyundai. My response to them was, sit down, get behind the wheel, because I think it sells itself. I've gotten so many compliments on that car. It really has a luxurious feel to it. It handled so well. It was very roomy. I've never had a car that was more dependable. I feel Hyundai has improved their product tremendously. Get in it, sit in it, drive it, and you'll see what I mean.
Here at VMI, we were asked to try the new Norelco Advantage for 21 days. There was quiet dissension.
I'm not giving up my blade.
And anxious inquiry.
The heck is this? Goo?
But then we started to realize the lotion actually gave us a closer, smoother shave than we expected, without the nicks and cuts like blades. Our fear diminished. Our hopes arose, and life got a little less hairy.
Come on, babyface, move it!
The new Norelco Advantage. Put it to the test. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back, guaranteed.
Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast, Milwaukee's best.
Gang members drive around at night with their headlights off, and when someone goes to flash from their high beams to warn them...
Isn't there another story about a guy with an axe hiding in a woman's back seat?
Is what we call an urban legend.
From the producer of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
The idea of an urban legend serial killer. It's a stretch.
Urban legend.
Bloody Mary.
Rated R. Opens everywhere September 25th.
Mark McGwire's relationship with the media has been at worst good and at best wonderful. Since he entered the game as a rookie in '89, we have been given glimpses of the man behind the new home run record. Over the last 72 hours, he's been exposed like no other player in the history of the game. And you can't help but be impressed with what we've all seen. Now we'll look back at the words of a man who tonight was himself nearly speechless.
I think it's ridiculous to even think about it now. I mean, the only time that it should ever come into the media's mind or the public's mind if somebody has 50 home runs going into September.
McGwire has 50 here on August the 20th, and he's the first player in the history of Major League Baseball to have 3 consecutive seasons of at least 50 home runs.
It's a great feeling when players come up to me in batting practice or at first base during the game and say they're rooting for me, or you know, they like to see me do what everybody thinks I might do. It's a great feeling. Anytime you hear things like that from your peers, what a great feeling.
McGwire, you see, he's going to hit it not out of the stadium. He's going to hit it out of the state of Michigan, and his head's pulled off, and he whirls around and didn't come within a foot of hitting that ball. That's why you're hitting 206, big boy.
People would say things to me in public, like, you stink. You're done. You can't play anymore. I mean, sure, that hurts, yeah. I mean, but I think going out and listening to it and facing it helped me out. It made me a better person. It made me think.
This season, once again, they've come up with another excellent rookie in first baseman Mark McGwire.
You're a kid, I'm sure you did it when you were a kid playing ball. And you always sit back and you say, the bottom of the 9th, World Series, full count, here's the pitch, a long drive, there it goes, it's gone. And it happened to me. And I was excited, but it was like, this is a childhood dream that came true. It's one of those things that's unexplainable. I think it's just when you get in the box, you get that feeling that you're totally balanced and you're not thinking anything. You're just looking for the ball or pitch or whatever location you're looking for, and it just seems like everything you see, and you're putting a good swing on all the time and getting full extension. They're not going to sit on a tee for me, and I know that. I mean, everybody in America knows that. I have to work for what I have to get. I don't want anything given to me. You know, if he makes a mistake and it's middle, and I hit it out, then that's fine. That's a mistake. But, I mean, I want to earn what I have to earn. And if I have to hit good pitches, hit out, then that's fine. I mean, a lot of home run hitters make their living on mistakes. And sometimes you don't get many mistakes to hit. Not everybody can do it. To hit a round ball with a round bat squarely to go a long ways. People wouldn't be asking, are you going to chase 61? You know, 61, we'd probably be chasing 100, you know. It's not easy to do.
McGwire stands in. Here's the pitch. As the ball hit the deep center. Home run number 54. Where are you? Oh, my goodness.
I'd say there's a pretty good chance.
McGwire with number 55. Oh, what a shot.
I mean, it's going to be tough, but
Number 56 for Mark McGwire.
it comes down to just getting balls to drive and swinging the bat. I've been a pretty good September hitter.
Mark McGwire has home run number 58.
And that's a psychological plus for me.
Can you believe that? McGwire has 59.
Well, there's pressure in the game every day.
Mark McGwire with number 60, and they're going berserk here at Busch Stadium.
If it does, it's going to be a great moment.
There goes! Number 61! Is it there? Yes! And McGwire is alone with Roger Maris.
Parkin is right. Here's the pitch, and McGwire drives one to deep left. This could be, it is a home run. Number 62 for Mark McGwire. A slice of history and a magical moment in St. Louis. A line drive home run to left for Mark McGwire of the St. Louis Cardinals.
So Mark McGwire makes history, the 62nd home run. Unlike many of the ones we have seen, this was a laser shot that traveled 341 feet. For those waiting to catch it, it never got to them. It just crawled over the wall, and in fact, it was a young member of the grounds crew who was the first one to get it. A member of the grounds crew, and tonight, Tim Forneris, a member of history.
Life is all about experiences, and what I have here tonight, I can't give it to anyone. They can't take it away from me. I mean, this is what it's all about. You can have $1 million in the bank, but what's that going to do for you? Nothing. This, I mean, I gave autographs out. I mean, I felt that. I was ruining people's memorabilia. Yeah.
Well, the shirt he had, the official locker room shirt of the home run that Mark McGwire hits, baseballs labeled 1 through 62. I'm sure if you want to be a part of history, you'll be able to find one of those shirts. Mark McGwire, immortalized with a 62nd. And counting. The bat is on its way to Cooperstown. We're on our way to a commercial.
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
In racing, there are no second chances. You blink, you lose. You win. It's a rush. Split-Fire, the choice of NHRA Winston Pro Stock champion Jim Yates.
Look for the Split-Fire spark plug $1.50 rebate at auto parts retailers everywhere.
Chef Paul of Bowman's makes the best steaks in town, the Herald. Chef Paul is the maestro of marinade, the Herald. Chef Paul's reputation is built on his marinade alone, the Herald.
Chef Paul's secret ingredient is actually A1.
Chef Paul questioned about missing assistant, the Herald. The secret to great steak isn't just for great steakhouses anymore. A1, a marinade, a seasoning, a 136-year-old secret.
I thought you were starting to go gray.
I was, but I never did.
So what happened, a miracle?
You can't tell?
Tell what?
I use Just for Men.
That's hair color?
Even your barber can't tell you use the hair coloring called Just for Men. Simply shampoo in, then rinse. In only 5 minutes, this unique Just for Men formula blends away the gray, actually matches your gray to your real color.
I never would have guessed.
Just for Men. So natural, even your barber can't tell.
It starts here. It starts here. It also starts here and here. And it all starts right here at Walmart, home of the EverStart battery. All the coal-cranking power your truck, car, boat, or more will ever need. Power you can count on when you need it most. And since it's at Walmart, you can also count on a good price. EverStart. The name says it all.
Baseball Tonight is being brought to you by EverStart Battery. All the cold-cranking power your truck, car, boat, or mower will ever need. Available at Walmart.
Here we go. We showed you the scores. Let's show you how the Braves and Expos played out. We'll get to the Reds Astros in just a sec. Vladimir Guerrero to left. Chipper Jones, Ozzie Guillen. Neither come up with it. It's 1-all. All right, it was raining. Maddox had to dig in there.
Well, Greg Maddox, you know, that plant foot is so darn important. You don't want it to slip. You could tear a hamstring, but he didn't like the conditions all night. I don't think anybody did, but maybe that messed up his control. He walked 2 and hit a batter in the first inning, and they racked up 4 runs early.
Not as if F.P. Santangelo did his best to get out of the way, but that's not his job. 3-1 Spos, Orlando Cabrera against Maddox. Brad Fulmer scores. Fulmer scores. 4-1 Expos. They go on and win 6-3. Second straight loss for Maddox. He is winless in his last 3 starts. Remember, he started the season winless in 3 starts. Wilton Guerrero, the brother of Vladimir, goes 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. He's hitting .284. All right, here comes Red Hot Houston against the Reds. That's where the McGwire show goes next to Cincinnati. Carl Everett against Jason Beret. Everett to left. Bagpipe scores on the play. It's 2-1. Beginning of a very big night for Jeff Bagwell.
Well, Bagwell's been the heart and soul of this club for so many years. Moises Alou, Biggio, everybody else has been carrying their load. Bagwell's numbers aren't good, but not great by his standards. He singles ear drives in a couple. Next batter is Moises.
And his numbers have been great. Doubles down the line and left. Gutierrez scores, so does Bagwell. Astros go up by a score of 6-1. Jeff Bagwell, 30 home runs. Checking out the guy after his 62nd. Watch a small television monitor. Said, all right, I think he just might have done it. So I think I'll go up and maybe rip my 31st. And he does. Grand slam. 6 RBI on the game. Astros win 13-7. Magazines like to show those little conventional wisdom arrows. Houston's arrows pointing up. Way, way up.
Well, the fact that they're now tied with the Braves in that race for the best record in the National League is rather remarkable.
And we talked about all the holes in other teams. There's no holes in. Where's a hole on the Houston Astros?
No, I mean, maybe long relief. They lead the league in runs scored. They're number 2 in pitching and number 1 in stolen bases. They got everything going for them right now, and they may be the single hottest team in the game right now.
No, they are 27-9 since the trade, but, you know, a lot of things could happen. The most important thing for them is to get healthy, keep themselves healthy, and get that home field advantage because they want to pitch Randy Johnson in games 1 and 5 in the Dome. Thank goodness the playoffs have been changed, so you really are rewarded for that record.
All right, Marlins and the Rockies. Neither of these teams go into the playoffs. But Vinny Castillo's leaving the building. 131 runs batted in on Vinny's shot, his 43rd. Bottom 9. The Rockies are down 10-9. Close game. Bases loaded for Castillo. Larry Walker would score the tying run. Darrell Hamilton would score the game-winning run. Bagpipe's not the only guy with 6 runs batted in tonight. Vinny Castillo as well. And look at the Rockies. 11-10 winners over Florida.
Mark McGwire is the man. Sammy says he's the man in the Dominican, and Vinny Castilla, he's the man in Mexico.
Derek Gibson goes 4 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. It was his Major League debut. How about Vinny Castillo's night? 3-4-6. It's a final now. The Pirates over the Brewers. In fact, it's been a final for about 12 hours. This game played during the day. 8-7. This was a 7-0 game at one point for the Brewers. I'll step aside. The organist has something to say. Here's Jeff Shaw looking for save number 41, and nasty stuff. It's all over. The Dodgers win in 11. The final score, LA 6, the Diamondbacks 5.
Bob Watson and Kevin Malone of the Orioles had their second and final interviews on Tuesday. Dave Dombrowski and Jim Bowden will have theirs on Wednesday. The decision is expected by the middle of next week. And nobody knows, because this is the first time that all of them met all the Fox executives who will make the decision.
Mondesi goes 3 for 5. He hit his 30th. Like many others, halfway there to Mark McGwire with his 62nd. We're back with more baseball tonight right after this.
Here it is. You gotta have it. Jock Jams Volume 4. 16 slamming tracks on one awesome CD. The biggest, the best, the hits. Jock Jams Volume 4. It will knock you out.
Getting jiggy with it. All right.
Jock Jams Volume 4 in stores now.
Yeah, baby.
How sure can you be? Let's find out. I want to talk to you about your pit. Yeah, your pit. Come over here. Let me introduce you to Sure Ultra Dry.
You can feel it dry on my hand where we put it.
Now, I want to pit your left underarm against your right underarm. I need you to put the Sure under your right.
Sure Ultra Dry keeps you drier than any solid, spray, roll-on, or gel. We're talking drier.
This is another brand. I want you to try to your left arm. Which side do you think is going to be drier?
Actually, my right. To the sure side.
And drier is great because
we're athletically busy. Let's work it out. You'll be drier. We're sure. Eagle Man, I want to talk to you about your pit.
Right now, LensCrafters is having an end-of-summer sun sale. You'll find special offers on hundreds of the latest sunglass styles. Get a complete pair of prescription sunglasses for only $99. We'll have them ready in about an hour. And save up to 50% on selected styles of regular sunglasses. So hurry to the end-of-summer sun sale, on now at LensCrafters. Call 1-800-541-LENS for the store nearest you.
Mark McGwire, you have just broken the home run record. What are you going to do next?
We're going to Disney World.
Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Holy cow, he did it. 61 to Maris.
October 1st, 61 against Tracy Stallard. And as much as this has been about Mark McGwire, it certainly has been about Roger Maris. And I just wonder, what effect do you think, short-term and long-term, will this have on Maris' legacy with regards to baseball?
I think this race has been Maris' shining moment because I think people have seen it. And as we saw in the interview with Tracy Stallard, there were only 23,000 people in the Yankee Stadium when he broke that record. He was not well known as a player. He only hit 9 home runs in '67, won the Cardinals, won the World Series. I really think now he's become much more of a compelling and national figure, partially because of McGwire, partially because of his family, and partially because of teammates like Tim McCarver, who have stood up and talked so much about him.
Yeah, and Mike Shannon, a guy who had great admiration for him. But, you know, for Roger Maris, a lot of people who are not great historians of the game maybe not realize that the New York Yankees that year won the American League pennant, beat the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. That's something McGwire's not going to get to experience this year, the thrill of postseason, unless the Cardinals have the ultimate miracle finish of all time. But, you know, Maris did play on a world championship team the year he hit 61 home runs.
Yeah, great news that more have been exposed. You talked about lack of crowd there. 27 people were arrested outside Busch Stadium tonight for trying to scalp tickets for $500. They all wanted in.